Hello. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just start with you, Jessica, because you are right there, first face, and you look like you're really working that car life right now. So I'll do you first. Okay. So you guys, all three of these amazing ladies all just went diamond last month, and every single one of them signed up in July, which is amazing. All of them did it in less than 90 days and earned a $10,000 bonus. So this is super, super awesome. And I'm super excited to share their stories and some tips from them because obviously they're doing something right. And just keep in mind, like, you don't really know anyone's network. You don't know their story. So don't get like butthurt. Instead, get inspired. Like, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this because I'm already in 90 days. I'm not Ruby yet, because that was me. Instead, be like, dude, she did it in 90 days. Like, I can do it too, you know? So Jessica, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. So can you, or it won't let me unmute you. Oh, there you are. Okay. So
I
can you
got it.
just kind of share your backstory, why you started, and then maybe even share like what you shared with me a few days ago about your job, if you are willing to share that. And then I will ask you a few questions about building your business. And if any of you guys have questions, you can put it in the chat and we'll look at it at the end. You may go.
Okay, so I met Christy through one of those host-to-posts. I think it was like Disneyland tickets, actually. And she messaged me consistently, and I was like, yeah, no, I've done network marketing before. I'm not doing it again. And she was just persistent with me, and finally, it was literally my breaking point day. So I guess my backstory is we were debt-free, and I got careless with money. And I racked up probably about ten to $15,000 in credit card debt in less than like 6 months. And then I was like, holy crap, what did I just do? And my husband lost his fire contract. And so I was banking on that to kind of pay off the bills and not let him know what I did. And so that fell through, and I was like, shoot, I have to go get a job. I I I work at a school right now, but so I got a summer job, and I was making good money at it. It was my first time serving, but it was an hour drive away, and I was working 13 to 14-hour shifts a day. So I was driving 2 hours back and forth. I'd come home just enough to sleep, and then I'd leave again. And then I would have 3 days off, but like 2 of those days were dedicated to one, recouping, and then schoolwork. So I go to school full time as well. And when Christy had reached out to me, I was $1,200 negative in my checking account. And I was like, I have to do something different. This isn't working. And I don't know what else to do. And she reached out to me. She gave me the scripts, and I was like, all right, I literally have nothing else to lose except for another $30 overcharge fee. And I joined. I just did it. I was like, I have to do this. I have to do something different. And so I did. And I was terrified. And I just did what she told me to do. I was posting, I was sharing. I gave bits and parts of my story because I hadn't fully come clean to my husband. And I'd say that is the worst mistake anybody could ever make. But I have come clean. We're on the same page now, and everything's good. But just being consistent, and I signed my first distributors this month. So I was consistent. I helped my team. I can sign customers, and that's what I did. I signed customers, and I cheered my team on, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my team members. And I am so thankful and grateful for them. And I'm excited to be able to do for my team members what Christy and my other team members did for me. And so today I resigned from my job at the school. It wasn't a healthy environment, and some stuff was going on that was not good for me. And so today I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on my family. I'm going to focus on my schooling. And most importantly, I'm going to focus on this business because I know this business works and I know this business is going to take me where I need to go.
Holla! Boom! So. Mic drop. Just kidding. You guys, I will say too, like, the second that Jessica jumped in, she was like, okay, what do I do? Okay, what's host to post? Like, she went through the team page and she was asking me questions about stuff that I hadn't even told her about yet. That is that hunger where you're like, I'm doing it. And I love too that she was super open and honest. And she said like, she was already way far in debt in her bank account. And sometimes some of you guys are like, well, I can't find anyone to start for $99. Well, you just haven't found the right people because she was willing to get an extra $30 overdraft fee to at least try this business because she knew it would change something for her. So, and you just jumped in and you just started like, you're like 115 BV, 130 BV, 60 BV, you know, like just signing all of these customers. And I'm like, all right, here you are, just killing it. So I love that so much. Okay, so Jessica, can you share, especially, I always like to share like your guys' stories too, like from the beginning, because some of the people on here are new. And so what did you do and what do you do to sign those customers at big orders, like big BV? Like, where do you find them?
Honestly, I just follow the script. I ask them what their goals are, and I tell them what they can do. Oh, am I still there?
You're there now. Yeah.
Sorry, my kids are calling me. Okay. I just follow the script. I ask them what their goals are, and I give them the script. They say, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm like, okay, do you drink coffee? They say yes. I'm like, okay, perfect. I think that the coffee, the greens, and the thermophyte's going to be perfect for you. And then it's just all laid out there for you. I mean, I follow the script. And that's all I do. I follow the script because I know it works because Christy used it on me.
You keep saying that, and I'm like, I was genuine. I made the script, so technically,
you weren't genuine. You weren't genuine.
I probably voice messaged it.
You were, but now that I look back and read it, I'm like, oh my God, she just scripts me.
Well, it's because like it's short and sweet, you guys. Like you don't have to like. It's so funny because like people are like, "Well, make your own," and I'm like, "Well, you should sound like you and try to voice message everything." But like, it works because it's simple. That's what it is. The loyal customer scripts, the distributor scripts, they are simple. If you create something for yourself that is simple, ask your diamond and above leader, is this simple enough? Because some people are like, here's my simple message. And I'm like, that is not simple. But I just love that because she's like, I just use that. Some people of you guys are asking like, where are these? Everything you need to be successful is in the team page. And the most important things are in the announcement section. When you go to the team page, it's right there in the announcement section. Some of you guys are in Stacy's pages or Caroline's pages or Eliana's pages. They all have stuff. We all have stuff, you guys. It's all in the team pages. It's everywhere, and it's very simple. But at the end here, I'll maybe do like a mock script with some people just to show you guys how really simple it is. Okay, so Jessica, those people that you are signing using that verbiage, are they coming from host to post? Are you good at growing your network? Are they from Facebook, Instagram, both? Like, are they from posts or stories? Like, walk me through a day or signing your last customer. Where did they come from?
Most of my customers actually come from Facebook. I have a lot of interaction on Instagram, but I've only sold one actual customer from Instagram. And she just happened to be an old rep that wanted to buy product again. But stories, I just go through, and anybody that's viewed a story, I message them. If they one of my posts, I message them.
What do you
I
message
say,
them?
hey, I seen that you liked my story on blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to reach out and see if you were interested in learning more about it.
Okay, I see, that's the stuff, you guys, that is gold. People are like, I sign people from Facebook, but she messages the people who view her story. She is taking the action to actually go and reach out and ask. We have to ask no matter what way it is. So I love that. And I love that it's so simple, the message that you send them. And then what else? Share more.
I've gained a lot of customers from host-to-posts. I do like the host-to-post just because it helps expand your network. And then most of the time, actually, when I do a host-to-post, they're like, hey, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, here's how you do it. And so I've gained, I think, more from me asking somebody to host a post than I've actually gained from a host-to-post because they see it. And then just following up with people. The distributors that I signed are people that I first talked to when I first joined. And then I was like, okay, I'm not taking your nose anymore. You're doing this. And yeah.
I
think that
that's what you have to do, you guys, though, because everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants what this business can provide, but 99.999% of people are just scared. That's literally it. They're just scared. So sometimes you have to be like, Jessica, you're signing up right now. Like sometimes I have to be stern with people, not always, but you can feel them out. But sometimes I'm like, listen, you're literally telling me 10 reasons why you're broke as crap and you can't this or you can't that, or you are rich as crap and you don't see your kids. Like, do this business with me. You are literally like shooting yourself in the foot by not trying. Like, you have nothing to lose. So sometimes you just have to be like, I'm not taking no for an answer. Okay, so where do you find your content? Like for posts, for example. A lot
of the group page.
Say that again?
The group page.
Okay, good. I love it. So is it
on the Make It Rappers?
You're so funny. Make it happen, rappers. So do you just find like I made a post, you guys, I don't know if you saw, but I made a post that literally says post ideas because I wanted everybody to share what they have, and the actual post ideas page, only me and Jocelyn were admins, so it was just anything I come up with, but I made that post so that everybody can share stuff with each other as well. But yeah, I love what Alejandra just said. Like, the resources are there, you guys. Like, they're there. If you're not doing it, it's just because you're not trying to do it. Because Jessica, from day one, you just have always been consistent. You've always put up a business post a day. I know I see a lot of you guys. You're so awesome with keeping your stories full because they're really easy to steal other people's. But a lot of you guys are not actually posting anything on your page. Like, you have got to keep a business post a day on your page. It might be indirect. It might be very direct. It might be sharing someone's story. I don't care what it is. Consistency is key. You want to be a diamond, consistency is key. Period. End of story. Like, you're not going to get to diamond being 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It ain't going to happen. Or being afraid of what someone might think if you do post on your page. Get over it. They already saw it on your story anyways. Like, literally. Okay, so Jessica, is there something, like one tip that you want to share that you feel like has helped you being, how many kids do you have? 4 or 5? 5? 6?
3. 3. Only 3.
It always looks like more in your pictures. Do you have extra kids in your pictures sometimes?
Well, because my nephew, my redhead nephew's with me a lot. And yeah, because I have adopted kids that I guess I'm the cool house. I'm the cool mom.
Okay. Because I see your pictures and I'm like, she has like 8 kids. Okay. So you were working full time and you obviously were stressed because you just racked up a bunch of debt that you were hiding from your husband. So that's pretty stressful too. And you were working with your kids. So how did you work your business? Because I hear a lot like, well, I'm busy, or I'm this, or I'm that, or my life is hard, or I'm stressed out, or I'm not in the right mindset. You know, how did you still stay consistent?
Well, when I first started the business, I was working at the restaurant 14 hours a day, and I had zero service down there. But anytime the Wi-Fi was on, I was like, I'm posting something. I don't care what it is, it's going up. And then I I'm a college student, so I don't sleep much. So when I was done with my schoolwork, I was working on my phone. I mean, first thing in the morning, I get up and look at my phone anyway, so I might as well make it productive if I'm just gonna scroll and stalk other people's lives. Just
That's what
whenever
we
I have
do.
a chance.
Do you
I don't
feel,
know, just anytime I have an extra minute.
and so did you ever actually like sit down and work your business, or was it just through your crazy life?
It's always been through my crazy life.
Okay, good.
I mean, now with our 45-day push, I mean, I'm a little bit more consistent because I have set times that now I'm dedicated to working my business. But it's just whenever I have a moment and I'm like, oh wait, like my whole entire lunch break today was helping my distributor. Like she sent me, I don't know, 20 screenshots. I'm like, holy cow, where do I even start? But just whenever you
No,
have time, because
sorry, keep going.
that was it.
Okay.
Just
I
when you have time.
I love this conversation because like I don't even know what to say because it's so simple. Like you're just like, because I just did it when I found a minute, because that's what it is, you guys. I don't often sit down, except for the push now. I don't often sit down and actually like work for an hour or two. I don't do that. I grab my list. I'm like, I take a picture and I go sit on the couch, and then I'll follow up with those people then, or I'll have them in my phone already, like, and stay organized that way. But I am like, oh, my kids are doing this. Like earlier, the kids were playing and Aaron was cleaning under the couches and whatever. So I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to talk about this crazy business with this crazy lifestyle. And I just went live. Like I didn't plan it. I didn't plan to do that. You know, I was on my way, when we were on the way to the gym, this girl on my Instagram just popped into my head. And I was like, I should message her and offer her the business. I just literally picked up my phone, I messaged her and I offered her the business. Like you don't have to like be crazy. It just has to be a priority. Kind of like what I was talking about. Like it has to be like, if you have 3 kids, it has to be your 4th kid. Like you don't just forget about it. You don't just leave it. Like it has to be a priority. And then you just keep going. You just work it throughout your busy life. Okay. So Jessica, if there's any other tips that you want to share, just let me know. I'm going to go to the other girls so that we don't go till like 9:00. And then just let me know, just unmute yourself and we'll share that. Okay.
I would just say, honestly, don't overthink it. I think a lot of people just overthink it. And it's really, it's simple, and just stop overthinking it.
That's so true. It really is. Yeah. Have fun with it. Exactly what Danielle said. Okay. Awesome. You're amazing, Jessica. Congratulations. And you are so
Oh,
freaking
thank you.
to double. We're a little delayed, you guys. So this is not like a weird conversation. We're just delayed. Okay, so Shandee, looking all cute over there. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. All right, guys. So Shandee's awesome. She just also went diamond and earned herself a $10,000 bonus. I always I always say this about her. I'm like, this girl, like, first day she signed up, I'm like asking all my newbies, like, when can we FaceTime? And she's like already FaceTime me. Like the first time we even like talked, she was FaceTiming me. She was calling me. And I was like, where did this girl come from? Like, but I was like, wait, she's FaceTiming me. Okay, like nobody FaceTimes me randomly. So I thought that was cool, but it was awesome. And now we talk like 10 times a day. So it was amazing. So Shandee, can you share your story and then we'll go through some of the awesome ways that you've built your business so quick?
Absolutely.
Spotlight your face. There
Absolutely.
you
So To do a little backstory for me. So I was a hairdresser and I was working long hours. And Christy contacted me back in 2015, you guys. She offered me the business at that time. And of course I was working so much back then, and I was just doing like single mom income, trying to raise my son at the time by myself. And I was like, yeah, it's just not something I want to take on right now, but thanks for the offer. And then fast forwarding, in July of this year, she contacted me again. So consistency is definitely what I would say is the biggest thing there. She contacted me and she just said, hey, Shandee, I was just wondering if you'd be interested in the business opportunity. I think you'd be awesome at it. Just something super simple. And I was honestly at a rock bottom at that point. I had my daughter, and in December of this last year, and I was going through postpartum depression, and I just felt as though I needed to have something different. So my husband's business allows me to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm just not somebody that can't work. Like, I have to be doing something. I just don't have that kind of, it's just not in me, I guess I should say, to just sit around. And so that's when, like I said, Christy was like, hey, do you want to try the business? Well, also at the time I was my heaviest. And after I had my daughter, I was in CrossFit 4 or 5 times a week, and I still just could not lose the weight. And so I just was like, hey, you know what? I don't know if I'm interested in the business opportunity, but I am interested in some products. What did you take to lose all the weight that you had? Because of course you're going to see Christy's amazing before and afters all throughout months and months of this business. You'll see it randomly. And so I asked her what she was on. She recommended what she thought would be best for me. And that's exactly what I did. I ordered the products, and then I told her once I try the products, if I really like them, I gave her my word, and I said, I will start with this business. And I said, so then I'll let you know when I get them. And I got my products actually pretty quickly. I think it was within about 5 days I received my products. And I started on them when I got back from my vacation in California. And within a week, you guys, I already had more energy. I had dropped 4 pounds, and I just felt like a different person. And I was like, you know what? I absolutely love the products. And my big thing too was like, I wanted to be a product of the products. And so I was like, I at least need to try them first for myself before I can actually even sit here and like market these and sell these to other people. And so that's what happened. I dropped the weight, and she had my word. I wrote her and I just said, hey, Christy, I'm ready to start the business. I FaceTimed her. I am a FaceTimer, and all my friends will tell you I love FaceTime. So I did. I FaceTimed her. She was in the car. She got screaming kids. She's leaving the gym. And I just said, I'm ready to start. And she's like, perfect. She sent me everything over. I got started. And yeah, so that's where we are. And here we are. And I am actually 90 days on the 18th of this month. So, and I went diamond, and I'm super excited. Charted for double diamond already. So I just continue to grow, and consistency is key.
I love it so much. And it's so funny, you guys. Like, I always tell people, like, if someone, a potential or a person on your team calls you or FaceTimes you, you answer it. I don't care where you are, what you're doing. Like, it's all about that moment, like, maybe if I wouldn't have answered your FaceTime, you would have second guessed yourself, or, you just never know. Like, you just never know, you guys. And so I'm like, you answer that freaking phone. So like, she's like calling me all the time, and I'm like, well, hello, I'm just waking up from my nap, because I was still pregnant when she started and things like that. I'm like, sorry, I was napping. But I always answer it. And you guys, I have actually started to try and FaceTime my girls more because of that, because it just grows such a connection. Like, by the time we actually met, because she lives in Arizona, just like an hour and a half away. But by the time we actually met, like a few weeks ago, I already felt like I knew her. And that's like something really, really, really awesome to create with your team. Obviously, they have to be willing to like give it back. But yeah, she's going double diamond this month, and I'm so excited. You guys, all 3 of these girls are like killing it, like ready to do this. So you're amazing. So I love this too, because since day one, you just jumped in and you were hungry. You were like, oh, how do I do these Instagram stories? How do I make this? How do I do this? Ooh, I just made this. Like, you always took the initiative to make your own Instagram stories. You're like, what app do I use? Where do I find the photos? Oh, my Instagram doesn't look like your Instagram. How do I make it look like that? You know, and you were always just asking me questions. And because you did that, you were consistent from day one. And I truly believe that's why a lot of your girls are doing really well, because they've seen your consistency and they're copying that. So can you kind of share like where and how you started to make such awesome Instagram stories, how you started to grow your network, you know, just going through the things of signing your first distributors, all sorts of things, because you've just been killing it like with customers and distributors. And a lot of your customers are huge. They're really, really big. And that's a huge thing, you guys, because if you think about it, if someone on your team needs to be at 400 GV for, you know, that Ruby promotion or whatever it is, like if you teach them to sign 4 customers at 100, 150 GV, boom, it's just 4. If they're all signing 30, 30, 30, they need like 12 customers, you know? So can you share just all your tips?
So, sorry. So, I absolutely love the Over app. And it's really funny. I just told my husband, even when I started this, I'm like, either I'm going to go all in and just do this, or I'm not going to do it at all, you know? And so I told him, I'm like, okay, so in order for me to grow this business, there's going to be a few investments that I think are absolutely crucial to growing for us. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Like, he's super supportive, of course. And so I messaged Christy, hey, how do you make the cute slides and stuff on your stories and things like that? And she's like, Over app. And so I was like, okay. So I looked into it. I think at the time I paid $100 for it, but I think there's actually some deals some of my girls have sent me where it's a little bit cheaper if you sign up and do like for like a year or something like that. But it has been awesome. I love making new stories just because I feel as though it's awesome to have different product stories out there than the ones that people are going to see randomly all the time on other people's things. And our team page, that's where you can find a lot of stuff. I do have like a folder in my phone for my girls that I share with them, a shared album that has like business stories.
You know, you could have got this wooden piece of puzzle for
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on.
No worries. I was like, I'll give her a second.
Let me mute them, whoever that is, guys. Come on. It's so rude. It drives me nuts. I won't say your name, but if you guys are like on here, like watching TV or something else, just jump off. It's so rude, I think. Like, there's no reason for your face to be on here if you're not actually listening. Sorry. Okay. You are back.
Sorry, no worries. So, yeah, I just think too is just being able to train the girls, you know, and tell them like everything. When I make the Over app, it's super, super simple. And I have so many girls that are like, I can't figure it out. But literally, if you see a photo of somebody's that you like on their stories, you can literally hold it down with your thumb and just screenshot it. Obviously, make sure you don't get their name, and then making it fit your screen is so important. I feel like, because I feel like if girls just leave them like where there's like black around the sides and stuff too, I feel like it's not as catchy as.
It looks ghetto. It just looks like, come on.
It doesn't look very good. So, like I said, I like to use the Over app. I like to create some stories, and I just feel like when you're constantly adding to them and just making something different, it's super catchy. Like I said, Over app, I literally upload the photo. If I, for instance, have stolen several of like Christie's or some other girls, I will literally take a screenshot of it and then I save it in my phone. And then when I go to the Over app, if you hit the plus sign, it'll have you add that photo. So you put that one in there first. And then when you see on the bottom left-hand corner, it'll say image. And if you want to put your photo over the top of mine, Christie's, whoever you're replacing a photo with, you just hit image again. And it will literally, you can size your image to go over the top of theirs. And like another thing too, I think is what's important is like sometimes I see girls will put their image over the top of somebody else's, but their image is vertical versus horizontal like the person's, and so you can still see their picture under it. You guys just literally hit the shape button and put a white square or whatever it may be over the top of whoever's photo, the entire thing, so that it completely covers it, so that when you put yours over the top, it looks like it's just your photo and not that you're stealing it from somebody else.
That's a huge thing. Like a lot of people, they don't know that white like shape thing. I do that all the time, like all the time. So do you feel like most of your customers come from stories, posts, like, or just you networking with people you already know? Like share the last few customers that you signed. Where did you find them and how did you sign such big orders?
So I definitely feel like it's been a matter of consistency. Some of my girls that are reaching out to me now, you guys are people that I wrote when I first started this business. And like, of course, they weren't seeing me post all the time. I was new. And so now they've kind of seen the consistency. They see that I post. I literally, you guys, I post at least 3 product stories a day on my product or on my stories. And I always share a business story every single day. And then also I always make one single post a day, and usually it'll be something along the lines of offering the business. And so I think it's just a matter of consistency, always offering the business to people. And I would say mostly my people that I'm getting to is from expanding my network. I'm trying to think, gosh, my last customer that I signed, Chris, I'm trying to think because I haven't signed one today.
Well, I mean, even last month or this month,
so
like
a lot of my big ones, I think, are just people that they're like, hey, so I've been following you and I love the way that you're marketing your products and I'm super interested. Can you tell me a little bit about what I can do to lose some weight? And then that's when I just go straight into the script and I'm just like, absolutely. I'd love to help you. And then I just say, what are your health goals? And how much weight are you wanting to lose? And are you a coffee drinker? And of course, like some girls are like, well, why do you guys ask the coffee drink question? And it's just because like, if they're not a coffee drinker, we have that other thing. You can do the lemonade, ketones. And so that's mainly why that's asked, is obviously because I myself have lost 20 pounds from drinking our keto coffee with the chocolate greens consistently every single day. And then obviously the thermophyte vitamin, when I'm good at remembering, I take that as well. And so I can recommend those to people as well as the Just Celery. I love it. So.
And I love it too because you're super consistent with making your keto coffee live on Facebook and on stories. Like every single day you're shaking it with the boomerang or you're live on Facebook with it or both.
Yeah, and lives are super scary for people. Like that is something like my girl Allison, and I absolutely love her. She has been so terrified, you guys, to do lives. And I've just been telling her, come on, girl, like you've got this. She's got a personality like you wouldn't believe. And I'm just like, you are going to kill it on lives. Once you get the hang of it and you just get out there, you are going to be able to expand your business so much. And believe it or not, you guys, she had never done a live before. And on the past few lives that she has done, this is probably her 3rd or 4th one. And I did one with her today. But she gets over 200 views on that. And she has signed a lot of customers just from her lives. So I think lives are so important because it does move you right up. It's like Facebook automatically like shows you that you're on, and it really like helps you, I think. So definitely lives are helpful. I've gotten a few off of my lives, but definitely my boomerangs and things that I do every single day when I'm doing my products. Whenever I drink something, you guys, always do a boomerang. Like if you ever follow me, you will see like it's constant. Like if I'm drinking my reds, I will literally do a boomerang with it, or I will just do like a thing drinking it, and then I will share the product info after that exact product. And so like that's where I was saying like I try to do at least 3 business stories or 3 product stories a day, is because I'll do my celery. Right now I'm waiting on my order, but I'll do my celery and then I'll do like a little thing with it. And then I will literally share the information about it. And then that's where I get a lot of people too, because they see me doing it and they're not like, oh, she's just out here, selling products, but she doesn't even use them herself. No, I make sure that they know like my life and my weight loss is all because of the fact that I am out here showing you that I am using these products. And that's why I want to get these in all of my friends' hands, is because they have been absolutely life-changing for me and my friends. So
I love that so much. And so one thing I love about you, I showed Erin this the other day and I was like, the reason why I feel like you have been super successful, super quick, and I see you going double and triple and presidential and ambassador is because you're just owning it. You're like, hey, how do I find a filter? Like, I know you got a preset for your pictures.
Is important, yeah.
Basically right away, but like you're in at work shirts in a lot of your pictures. Like, you're just owning it, and I think that's so important to be able to say, like, I'm using these products, I'm loving these products, I'm loving this business, like, I'm doing it. Either you're with me or you're not, kind of thing.
And honestly too, I think that's like, that brings up a good point is I have always been somebody that's super afraid of what people think. And when I first started this, I had so many fears, you guys, for like the first 2 weeks. Like, Christy even asked me like, hey, when are you going to do your launching post, you know? And so I was so hesitant because I was so afraid, like, what are people going to think of me, you know? And then I really truthfully had to set aside, this is about me and my happiness and what I can provide for my family. And if people don't support you and they're like, you know, your posts are annoying, they're this or that, because believe me, I have had my own close friends say that to me. And it was obviously detrimental to me because I've been friends with them for years. But I'm like, you know what, if you don't like my posts and you don't support me and my happiness and my growth, you aren't my friend. Like, that's just the bottom line. Like, and because this has been awesome, I have been able to help so many people, you guys, and so many people that'll contact me daily and they're like, you know, I have one girl that's a diabetic and she's like, my A1C levels are the lowest they've ever been. I have a girl that was like, I've lost 8 pounds and I've been on these products for less than 10 days. Like, I just absolutely love that my job is not just going to work 9 to 5 and just having somebody else run my life. I have a job where I get to change other people's lives. And I have an amazing team of girls that are with me that have honestly they've dove in head first as well. Like, my girl Anisha, I truly did not think that she was going to do this business. And I was like, oh, she's just going to do it for the side. So when people say, I don't have time, she is the perfect example. She has 3 jobs, you guys. She is a full-time lash artist. She is also a sign maker, and she does signs, mats, you know, you name it. And she still is literally, she's 2 away from being charted for diamond, you guys. So it just shows you consistency, and I'm trying to train my girls the best that I can to do exactly what Christy's taught me, because I want them to be able to have the same opportunities that I have.
You're awesome. Okay, so somebody asked, after you do the boomerang using the product and put the product info, do you put a poll on the last slide?
I do polls almost all the time, you guys. So for instance, like if it's like a few things about the super reds, like I'll put I always do like at least 3 slides about the products. I do 3 of them. I add all 3 and then I re-add the last one again. And then I just place the poll on it. So polls are so important, because that is a way for you to be able to go back and see who is actually interested in it. And then that's another thing too, is like, for instance, when I do my business stories, I have a business story that's like offering the business, but it's also my why, as in like why I started this company and what it's done for me. And then it's also offering them the business at the end of it. And so on that one, for instance, if I have people that vote or even view it, that's a way for me to go back when I'm trying to like, do a power hour or whatever. I go back and I'm just like, hey, so I saw that you viewed my stories. I think that you'd be amazing at this business. Is it something that you would be interested in, of earning extra money from your phone? And so I just feel like that's been super helpful too. And it's all tips from Christy. So.
No, I love it. Okay, so you don't have 1 million Instagram followers, which is what I love too, because you're consistently growing, but you didn't start with 1 million. And a lot of people think that they need that, but you totally don't. So your messaging, who do you message first? Like, cause I know that you do message. Do you go to your views on your story first, your likes on your post first, or do you just go kind of like and comment on someone's page and then go random?
So that brings up a good question. So I feel like my Instagram has been a little bit harder for me to grow versus the Facebook. So I do use Facebook for a lot. Don't get me wrong, I still have my Instagram people that I have gotten, but you're correct. I started with I think I had like 430 friends on Instagram, and I think I've only grown I think I have like 560-ish or something like that. So it really has not grown that much, but definitely the consistency. And I think too, when I'm reaching out to people, it's mainly to people on my or on my Facebook Messenger. So like on my laptop, I just get on there and I click people's names, and then I just start asking them. Like, I'll have in my head, like, my goal is to always offer products to at least 20 people per day. And then I offer the business to other people, but I usually try to at least offer the business first. And if they don't want that, then I've been going into, okay, well, would you be possibly interested in checking out my website to see if there's some products that would fit you and your lifestyle? And like, I feel like I've gotten a few customers from that as well.
Yeah, I love that. I always lead with the business too, you guys, because like if you sign someone as a customer and then next month they sign with somebody else as a distributor, you will shoot yourself in the foot. You will be so sad. So I always say, like, be the first person to offer the business and the last person to offer the business before they sign. Okay, so what do you feel like?
And ending with the question, you guys, that is the most important thing. Like, I think that I have noticed, like, before when I was nervous, I would just ask people if they were interested. And if they didn't respond back with like, yes, I am interested or whatever, I have found that like I always end everything with a question. So it's in my ballpark now. It's like, I'm like, hey, and like, are you interested in purchasing, because like, for instance, if somebody's like, hey, I'm interested in your cleanse or whatever. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So this is what it does for you. This is how much it is per month, for 90 days. And then they'll say, okay, awesome. And then I'll be like, if that's all they say and they don't say anything else, then I'm like, so are you ready to place your order? Because if so, I'll just get a little bit of information from you and then we can move forward. And like, I feel like if I'm the last person to ask something, then I feel like that's been super beneficial as well.
That's a huge point, because a lot of the times I think people, you're like, where do I go from here? Like, this is awkward. I'm like, just ask her if she wants to start.
Yeah, it really is, because, and I have my girls that have asked me the same thing, like, hey, what do I ask from here? And I'm like, you just need to ask them, like, hey, are you interested? If so, I can get you signed up. I just need a little bit of information. And so I think that definitely when you ask the last question, it makes it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I read in a book one time, it was just super simple, like, ask for the sale. Like,
Yeah.
just ask them. It's the same thing with distributors. Just ask. Like, you
And
don't know. Shandee had actually deleted her Facebook, you guys, like, for all of those 4 years, whatever. And so I started following on Instagram, and I was like, I freaking recognize this girl. I know we were Facebook friends, but I can't find her on Facebook. And I'm like, why do I remember? I don't know. You just had one of those faces that like I remembered. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to offer her the business. And I offered her the business in one of our Power 30 power hours, whatever. And yeah, and it was just, oh my gosh, thank goodness. But guess what? She started as a customer because I was consistent with my stories and sharing products on my stories and results on my stories. But you guys, people won't follow you back. They won't watch your stories if it's all business and all product. You have to have other stuff on there so they are like entertained, if that makes sense. Because if it's just business and just product, like, they're going to be like, oh, I already know what it's going to be, So Michelle asked, how do I send an invite for a new DT without it being a cold message? You guys, cold, I'll let you answer that, but really quick, don't use that word cold. Cold sounds like it's mean. It sounds like it's wrong, but it's not wrong. You're freaking changing people's lives. Like, look at Shandee. Oh my gosh.
I think that is the perfect thing. Like, just when people say that, because I have had several of my girls that are like, hey, like, how do I, offer this business without cold messaging? And I'm like, honestly, I think that before I had that same mindset because I didn't know anything about the business really yet. And so I was like, well, I don't want to cold message people. And I've said that word to Christy several times. And so I think, honestly, when you're offering this business to people, even if you're like, well, I feel like people aren't going to want to sign up for $99, I think the best tip that Christy ever gave me was that if you just talk to somebody and offer them the business and tell them, it's only $99 to start, that's literally, and especially if you're doing voice messaging, that's literally all it is, you guys. $99 to start, to where you can literally make an amazing income within 3 months. Like, even my first month, I had Jessica actually help me with this because I'm awful with math. But from my first month's paycheck to my this month's paycheck, it was an 800% income, like that, an increase. Like that's crazy. I don't consider it cold messaging when we get to offer this amazing business opportunity to people, whether they work another job or whether they want this as a side income. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just awesome. And honestly, a lot of people, I have never, to be completely honest with you, had anybody have a rude response when I offer them the business. Never.
Yeah, I have not actually like ever had anyone respond to me wrong, like rude.
Mm-mm.
I've had people say things to me in the beginning that were rude, but never from me actually offering them the business, which is ironic. But
yeah,
like,
usually they're just like, no, thank you, I'm not interested right now. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like on Instagram, people leave me like I'll offer them the business or something, but they'll leave me like they saw my message, but they don't say anything rude. But Facebook, I feel like, has been so beneficial for growing this business, which is so funny, you guys, because when I started with Christy, in fact, I have a girl that also did not have a Facebook, and she started it specifically just because I told her, like, you have to have it for this business purpose, as far as like being on our team page and getting all the information and tips that you need to grow your business. I started and I had told Christy, I am not using Facebook. I will use Instagram only. And that is literally what I mainly use is Facebook. I feel like I use my Instagram, but not nearly as much as I use my Facebook, just because I feel like when I'm on Facebook, I can literally know exactly who's online and I can send them a message straight over. And then that's how I've been getting quicker responses as well. So Facebook is so important too. And I went from, no followers to starting the business to now I have like almost 1,300 people on my Facebook. So
I do think, you guys, like, Facebook is easier to grow your network because it's a little bit more personal. But like Instagram is where a lot of people are at also. So like you might as well just do both, like
especially the younger generation too. I think like the college students, Instagram's huge. Like that's like where it's at, definitely.
And if I wasn't doing Instagram, I wouldn't have found you.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because I have some people that they refuse to do one or the other. And I'm like, just do both. Please just do both. You just don't know who your next like rock star is, And so I always say, like, might as well just do both. You're creating the content, so might as well just post it in two places.
And I do every day. I still post on my Instagram and I post on my Facebook, and sometimes I'll mix the picture up. And like, for instance, if I post like the same script or whatever that I'm posting for my Facebook post for the day, I'll use the same one on my Instagram, but maybe I'll switch my picture. And I guess there's no really specific reason for it. I just think maybe if they see a different picture, then maybe someone will actually read it. I don't know, but that's what I've been trying lately just to see, but just something different. I guess I always try to do new things.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Because I have noticed that it's like a different picture. I'm like, man, I feel like she's posting a lot, but hi. But you're not actually like posting a crazy amount. You're just using different pictures. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, you can't have that. I'm sorry. They just got home. But okay, so can you share one last, maybe like a personal development tip or what you feel like was able to get you in the right mindset to be consistent?
To be completely honest with you, I'm new to this whole personal development thing. I think that it is an amazing tip though, because there are going to be days that you're going to be like, man, I'll be honest with you. I went an entire like week where I did not sign one person, you guys. And I was so down, and my husband's like, your attitude's even just different. Like, I feel like you're kind of like bummed out. And I'm like, he's like, it's kind of like me, because my husband is an investor. And so he buys houses. And so I'm like, when he doesn't get a house, he's like, I think that's like my example as well, because it's so easy to get down. And so when Christy has been sending me these personal development videos, I feel like those are so awesome, because it get you pumped. You just get so excited and you're just like ready to, go and just go sign people and send your messages. And I really feel like these power hours have been really helpful too, is just sitting down and focusing for that entire hour to grow your business is so awesome. And then how I got in the mindset, honestly, is I told myself, if Christy can do this, there's no reason I can't do this, because and it's not even a comparison thing. It's just a matter of, you guys, if she can do it, why can we not? It's a matter of just being consistent and, using the tips that you're given to grow your business, being on adding to your stories every day and making your post every single day. And it's like I said, it's literally the consistency. And if you don't continue and you say, well, it's not working for me, it's because you don't have the push or the drive or the motivation to do this business. It has nothing to do with, that you don't have the content, because it is all there. Like, it's pretty much like I'm like holding the girls' hands to help them, because I'm like, every morning I have a chat with my girls and I send them stories and I send them a post for the day, just because I want them to be able to grow the way that I have. And so definitely the consistency and just being in the right mindset, and just knowing that each day, like, if you just put in the work, you're gonna get something out of it. So,
and I feel like too, you guys, when you put in the work, your mindset gets better, because the action is what will give you the results. But if you are in a bad mindset, then you take less action, then you get less results, and then you're in a worse mindset. So you have to just push yourself to actually take the action. Okay, so thank you so much, Shandee, and I cannot wait for you to go double diamond. So excited. And if you have anything else you want to share too, just unmute yourself. Okay, so Suzette, where are you? I saw your face. Oh, hey. I was like looking for all your babies, but they are not with you anymore.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for your guys' information.
What is happening right now?
I have no idea.
Can you hear me?
Okay. What is happening? Oh my gosh, guys. BRB.
Hello.
Is it over?
Okay, I don't know if that was a potential or if that was just a distributor that didn't understand. I think it might have been a potential. Maybe she watched the whole training. Hopefully she's trained. I don't know. Anyways, I muted everybody, so hold on. Let me unmute you. Okay.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, perfect. It's always fun, you guys. It's always fun on Monday nights. I'm glad that she got some good information, like she said. Okay, anyways. All right, Suzette. Okay, so I'm so sorry. We have just been making trainings like longer than an hour, but you are amazing. You also went diamond, earned a $10,000 bonus, so close to double diamond. And you were kind of the same way. Like, you just jumped in and you're just like, hey, I'm hungry. What do I do? You just started posting. You just started like doing all of the things. You're like, oh, Christy made a post, I'm going to make a post. Christy made a story, I'm going to make a story. And that's really what it is. Like, it's just putting out the stuff and doing the work right away. And then you'll start to figure out like how to do it, how this works, how to respond, and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, Elliot, now. Okay. So can you share your story with all of us?
Yes. So I actually started following Christy back in 2017. Don't ask me how I came about her page. I don't remember. But I actually followed her on Instagram, and I only had Instagram. I actually didn't have Facebook. And so, you know how she's doing all her stories, saying she's working from home and she's a top income earner. And so that's actually what caught my eye. And so I actually messaged her and I said, how are you making so much money working from home? And at that time I was a medical assistant. And so, oops, sorry.
You're good. No, you're good.
So I was a medical assistant at the time, and, you know, I was only making like $20K a year. And so I'm like, I'm red. I don't know if you guys know your personalities, but I'm a red. And so I'm always like hustle, hustle, hustle. Like I had 2 jobs at one point and all that. So I'm always like about money and just helping people. And so I asked her and I said, hey, like, how are you making so much money? And she goes, consistency and mindset. This is back in 2017, okay? So she still says that till today. And so she actually was on vacation, and so she asked me, do you have an iPhone? I said, yeah. And so she texted me a video of how she did the business. And I'm just like, okay, let me watch this. And after I watched it, I'm like, oh no, I don't think it's for me. And so I did not talk to her at all. But I always liked her pictures and her posts and everything. And so fast forward to this year, end of June. And so she actually had a video live, and she put the chart of a diamond chart for $10,000 bonus. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So what is this? What's going on? 10K, I need this now. And so, but February of this year, actually, February 26th, I had my daughter. And so, okay, kind of missed some stuff. So I stopped talking to Christy back in 2017. 2016, January, I graduated from nursing school. And so from January 6, 2016 to February 6, 2019, I've been a nurse. And so I actually stopped practicing as a nurse in February 6th because I was having complications with my pregnancy. I was having like high blood pressure. They thought I was going to have preeclampsia and all that. So then I had my daughter February 26th. And so I'm thinking, okay, my job is super stressful. I had 50, 60 patients with another nurse daily, and just getting more pregnant. I'm like, I was reevaluating my life and being on maternity leave. I'm like, do I really want to go back there? And so I already knew every single day I was just so stressed, working 40 hours a week and just going there, only me and another nurse taking charge of all these patients, doctors coming to us. And I'm just like, I don't want to go back to that. And so my maternity leave actually ended May. And so if you guys know, maternity leave is you get paid by EDD disability, about 60-70% of your paycheck. And so I'm thinking, okay, getting only 70% of my paycheck. My daughter is attached to me. She's breastfed. I cannot pay for daycare $1,000 a month. What am I going to do? So I started going on Indeed and looking for work from home in Anaheim. For like 2 weeks straight, I could not find one because you had to have your own office. You had to have, quietness. Right now, my daughter's sleeping behind me in her stroller. She is sleeping behind me, and my husband and my son's in the living room. So I'm like so thankful for that. But anyways, this is the only time I can get quiet time is when she's sleeping. So imagine if I did a work from home, it's not possible. Hearing her cry, she wants to be carried, whatever. And so Christy happened to go on live and pulled out a diamond chart, said 10K bonus. And then I messaged her, and 2 days later, I joined the business with her. And so now we're here, fast forward 3 months, and I'm diamond. And I would not be here literally because if it wasn't for her. Like, she saw the potential in me, and once I set my mind to something, I literally just ask questions. I just go for it. If I don't know something, I always ask, and then she was always guiding me, and she was always, I actually followed her, Hillary, Mikkel, the top leaders, of course, on the top page. And so she tagged me on the post, 30 days of posting. So obviously you don't know what to post. And so I was just following each day. I was kind of getting little bits here and there from each of the leaders and making it my own. And so that's how now you kind of know what to post. And so, yeah.
No, I love it. You know what? It's so funny. I was actually just thinking about yesterday how I need to make another opportunity video, which is what I had sent you. And I was going to make one when I was pregnant, but I was just like, my face is just too big for this right now. But I need to make another one. And that totally just reminded me because I feel like that's super simple and it's super duplicatable. But you know what? I had totally forgot about that. Like, I didn't realize that I had sent you that a couple years ago, which is so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But it just shows like consistency is key. Like, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it 2 years later. But I love that because you have like, you're like, okay, I'm supposed to post. Okay, I'm supposed to do this. I've never seen you miss a beat. You've never missed a beat. And that's so big. Okay, so can you share your best tips for just staying consistent and growing your network. I think that's one thing that people have a hard time with, and it's something that's pretty much the most important thing we do.
Right. So when I started this business, I only had Instagram. I didn't even have a Facebook. And so I think I started at like 300 people on Instagram. And it is a little bit harder to add on Instagram because you have to get their approval to approve you and then vice versa. And so I do have the Cleaner app for that. And it really helps. But literally, a tip that one of the leaders said, like, I think it was a month ago, I totally do it, is that I go to a girl's page, and if it's a college student, a mom, or, any type of woman working or whatever. And so I actually click on a guy's page on their list. And because usually they're not in a business. They're usually just like stay-at-home moms, their aunt, someone. And so I actually go on a guy's page and I actually start adding. And first off, I look at their page, making sure they're not in a business, and like 100% they're usually not. And so I add them. And then Facebook, I didn't have one. And I actually have like almost like 1,250 now of friends, but obviously Facebook's a little more easier. And so that's what I do on both pages, is that I go to a guy's page and start adding women, moms, anyone who's like in college, friends of friends. And one thing I do not like to do is, in the beginning I did do it, was add mutual friends. But then now I kind of not do that. I kind of like having new people on my page. And here and there I'll add maybe like 5 from mutual friend. Like if they're like a mom, that's like the only time I'll do that. But usually I just have I like to have new people on my page. And then
it grows your network beyond like your circle. It kind of it keeps taking a step further, which is amazing.
Right.
Okay. So as far as messaging, what kind of messaging do you do? How often do you do it? And what message do you send to people?
So I actually like to create my own message because it kind of depends on, like, if I'm following up, then I kind of reference to what we were talking about first. Like, let's say that this is a stay-at-home mom, but then I had to follow up with her in a week because she was trying to get the money. So then that's when my message will be a follow-up, and kind of, it's about more of what we talked about. But then I also always message people who liked my post. Oops, sorry. So I always message people who liked my post. And I always basically just say, hey, Hillary, I saw that you liked my post about the business. I always look at their page first, and then I kind of incorporate, like, if they have children, then I kind of incorporate that in the message, or kind of make it more personal. And so in the beginning, I wasn't like that. I was kind of just like, do the host to post, send the message that's provided for us. But then now I kind of I'm more personal, look at their page, see if they have children, they're a wife, stuff like that. So I'm always messaging people on my stories, if they viewed it, and of course the ones who vote, the ones who comment on my post, the ones that like my post. There's like so many people that you can message, and I literally message every day, every single day.
It literally is like, it's so important that you guys ask people. And maybe, maybe you don't want to send the first message, but someone else will.
Right.
Someone else is willing to send the first message if you're not. I'm willing to send the first message. So get out of my way.
It's kind of weird. One thing is, it's kind of weird, but I have like this thing that I like to do. Like, I always want to make sure I'm sending the last message. And like, if they're like, let me think about it, I'm like, well, what's holding you back? And I always like to end it in a question. Even if that person left me on red, I know that I did my part, that they read my message and they're going to think about it now.
Yes,
So.
I think that's so important, you guys. Like, I'm always the last person to talk to. I'm like, okay, well, I'll follow up with you this day.
Yeah.
Or, okay, let's talk on Friday. Or, okay, have a good night, you know, like just so that you can kind of be in control of the conversation. So that when you do follow up, it's like, well, I was the one who talked to you last.
Right.
So how do you, just my last question, because I know I'm keeping everyone late, but how do you stay inspired? Like, I think the thing is the how is everywhere. Like you can find how all over the dang place, but how do you stay inspired to actually be consistent each day when you were not a diamond yet?
Well, first off, I bought an organizer. And so I like to write names down. And so when I have it actually open on my desk right now, and a chart of my next emerald, who is Bailey. She will be promoting to emerald this month. But anyways, that always inspires me is that I always wake up, make my keto coffee, and I see, okay, this day is coming. I need to follow up with these people. And so once I'm actually getting ready as well as like my makeup and hair for the day, I'm always listening to a self-development. And that's always pumping me up. And also, you know, getting my son and my kids ready, like they're my why. So just embracing that time with them and, you know, being with them, that's the reason why I want to be home and make an income. So that's the other reason why I'm still inspired. And being diamond, of course, is my inspiration. And I'm trying for double. So it's like, I need to go double. So that's right.
I love it. I actually think that's a great tip. Like, just you guys, you have to see what you want every single day. Like my goals are on my fridge and I know I'm going to my fridge at least a few times a day, but I love that you have your potentials and your chart out there, because whenever I am promoting or I'm helping someone promote, I like to keep my charts on my kitchen table, because like it's something that kind of pulls at your heartstrings. Like you see it, you're like, I have to do this. Like
Right.
You don't want to just walk by it, you know, but when it's like a closed book and it's put away, it's so much easier to just be like, tomorrow. Right. So I think that's actually like a huge tip, that it's right there in front of you on your desk. And it's funny because I was talking to, I don't know if it was Shandee or someone else, but they heard someone else say it. And I think it was Pam or whatever. And they were like, why is there no double diamond chart? Why is there no triple diamond chart? And it said,
that was me.
Oh, it was you. It was you. Okay. Yeah. And you want to say it? Go ahead.
There's no double diamond chart because it's not about you anymore.
Yes.
You're helping your team promote. Like you're already up there. So now it's about you helping your team and show them how to duplication, how to promote to Ruby, how to promote to Emerald. And you're trying to get them to Diamond. So I constantly am always like on Baby. Sometimes I feel like I annoy her, but she knows that I mean well. But like I'm helping her because I want her to be able to help her own team. And so it's just duplication, and we're just all here to help each other. So
I love that so much. Like when you said that, I was like, oh, what? Why did I not know that? Like, it was like, it's so true. The charts don't have your name at the top of it anymore. It has somebody else's name because it's about them now. Like, and of course you're rewarded 10 times over and over and over for that, but it's such a freaking blessing, you guys. So, and it's funny because I always say that too. I'm like, I hope you don't think I'm like being rude, because I'm always messaging you. I'm like, here's a tip, here's a this, here's a that. This is how we can be better. And you're always like, no, thank you. Like, no, I appreciate it. And I appreciate that too, because you know how it is. You're like, I don't want to be sounding like I'm naggy. Like, I'm here to help, you know?
And I don't think of you as nag, because you're a top 5th income earner in the business for no reason. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to take every advice you can give me. So
I love that. And I think that's a huge thing, you guys. Like, I've always been willing to learn. Like, even now, I'm like, hey, like, give me your tips. Like, if you're doing something that's working, like, share it with me and I'll try it, you know? Like, I'm never afraid to try something new or to try something that is working, even if I have stuff that's working, because you just never know, you know? And so I think that's a huge part of this business, is you have to stay humble. You have to stay humble and hungry. And it sounds so like cliche, because I've heard it in so many videos, like humble and hungry, but it's so true, because if you can't stay humble, it will not only be about you, but you will never be willing to adapt, and you have to. This business is changing constantly. So I appreciate that. And you're amazing, and you're going double, and you're awesome, and you're so cute. But anyway, you just got your hair done, and I like it. But do you have any last tip that you want to share with them? You don't have to have something, but.
Well, the past month since I hit Diamond, I actually have been going live every single day. And I was scared out of my freaking whatever. And like in the beginning, I used to like do boomerangs or videos of my hand making the keto coffee in the beginning. And so I know it takes time and steps to get out of the comfort zone, but I just feel like that's where the money is. And, you know, like you just have to get in the camera. And what I kind of did in the beginning was video cam myself. And then if I liked it, then I would post it. And so now I just do lives and I talk about the keto coffee every single day, MCT oil, gives you all that good stuff. How much weight I lost. I've lost 37 pounds in 3 months. And so I feel like when you share your, results, like I had a host post last month that made me go diamond. I had my own results that I was hosting. Hey, pumpkin spice fanatics, lose weight, and I put my own picture results, and that's how I got all this GB for my diamond rank. And that's what I just do now, host a post and just be yourself on lives. So
I love that. So you guys, there's a common thread here. Use the products. You don't have to have a huge weight loss story, but you have to have some sort of testimony of the product. Like, I know I keep saying it, but I'm freaking obsessed with the skincare now. Like, I am freaking hyped about it. I've never had a skincare routine, you guys. I've been the worst, but I am like loving how simple it is, and it's just freaking amazing. But you're amazing, Suzette, and I cannot wait for you to go double diamond also. All these girls, they're just killing it. And I love this too, you guys, because some of you guys might be, thank you. Some of you guys might be in a point of your business where you don't feel like you have anyone on your team that is hungry. You just be hungry and you'll attract hungry.
right.
Like, that's just what it is. Like, they are out there. You guys all signed the exact same month. Like, you know, and I've had multiple people each month since then, but you just stay hungry and that's what you'll attract. But your team will never be consistent if you're not, you know, and they are out there. You just have to find them. That's literally all it is. But thank you guys so much for staying on all of this time, this hour and 15 minutes. Yes, we are still doing the power hour because guess what? You still have to work. Aaron said something to me. He was like, and I want you guys to like take this with a grain of salt, because I know there's some of you guys who are like, why don't I get recognized, or why don't this, or why don't that? But it's so funny because Aaron, I was like, man, I haven't been asked to be on a Show Me the Money call in a while. And a Show Me the Money call is what Pam does on Monday nights with other leaders, things like that. And I'm like, and I've seen plenty of people be on multiple. And he, you know, he said to me, he said, is it income producing? And I said, no. And he's like, then who cares? And I was like, you are right, babe. Like, let's go, you know, like, and it's so true. Like when he told me, when I was like, man, I can't like borrow anyone's posts anymore or whatever. And he's like, who cares? Like, it's about your potentials. Who cares what anyone else in the company thinks? Like, as if it's bringing and growing your business, like who cares, you know? And I was like, you are right, you guys. But this will be the same power hour code, but whoever's hosting it, I will let them